all of them. Joining us now, U.S. congressional candidates, Madison Giusato Gilbert, and I know we're cutting out a little bit, but I'll try to get through you. Joe Kent, as well as Leora Levy. And I'll start. Madison, why don't we try? We want to start with you, or should I? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, great. So, Madison, when you look at your candidacy, people are saying, look out. If you go with Donald Trump, you're great in the primary, but not in the general. What's your reaction?
Well, it's just simply not the truth. This isn't about one person. This is about a movement, and this is about the lack of leadership coming from the White House and coming from Washington. When you look at a district like mine that has really been decimated by these failed policies and high inflation, people are going into the polls on November 8th, and they're thinking about their pocketbooks. They're thinking about inflation. That's the issue that matters the most to them. Meanwhile, the Democrats, people like my opponent and others across my state of Ohio and across the country, are simply just not who they represent themselves to be. As the polling comes in, they're seeing that they're going to lose, and they're now trying to act like they're these moderate Democrats, and it's simply a lie. They've supported the Inflation Reduction Act. They voted on the state and national level to support these type of policies that most people in this country, in the most recent NBC News poll, actually 71% of Americans believe that the Inflation Reduction Act will really have no impact at all or make things worse.
Right.
And so this is what we're up against. We're up against the policies that simply are not going to fix the problems, and people want real solutions.
But, Joe, they got to keep tying you back and say who really won the election in 2020, and they want to know on January 6th, where do you stand? What's your answer to both those questions?
Well, the answer to both of those questions is we need to get to the bottom of it. The election of 2020 still has major issues that have a real impact right now. So we're not backing down on that key issue because it comes up anytime you go and talk to voters. January 6th, there's lots of unanswered questions. So we're going to keep the January 6th committee open when we get into office in 2023. We're going to show the American people what actually happened on January 6th, and we're going to hold the federal government accountable because most Americans right now know that the national security state is completely and totally out of control. We have real concrete issues to run on. The America First agenda is what actually benefited this country, benefited the working class people of this country. And the American people right now, whether it's crime at their front door, an invasion on their southern border, or sky-high inflation thanks to the economic policies of the Biden regime, they know exactly what time it is. It's time for new, bold leadership. That's why you're seeing so many Trump-endorsed America First candidates doing so well in the primaries. And we are coalescing and unifying the Republican Party right now, and we're going to take our country back.
In some cases, but not in all cases. Even Mitch McConnell doesn't seem to be coalescing in front of a lot of Donald Trump candidates. Leora Levy, you're in Connecticut, and you have to upset, your goal, of course, is to upset the sitting senator since 2011, Senator Blumenthal. What's your message in that blue state?
My message is that Joe Biden and Dick Blumenthal are crushing the American dream for all Connecticut families with their woke, socialist, green dream ideology. I call that what they call the Inflation Reduction Act. I call it the Mansion Cinema Build Inflation Back Better Act, because that is all that it will do. It will make life even more difficult for Connecticut families, parents who are facing heating their home this winter when the weather gets cold here, who have to make decisions. Do I fill my gas tank? Do I feed my children? And how am I going to afford the school supplies and the new shoes? That's what the issues are, and Dick Blumenthal is completely out of touch with the families here in Connecticut.
Madison, real quick, I know you're trying to get Tim Ryan's seat. He's running for Senate in Ohio. He had 52% of the vote. How do you get that? How do you get his percentage of that vote?
So we have a brand new open seat. We take in 5 congresspeople's districts, and really you're going to see a lot of crossover voters that may even vote up ballot for a Democrat and down ballot for us, because we're focusing on the issues that matter to this district, and we're focusing on the issues that matter to Ohioans. And we're really excited to produce results and be able to go in there and keep promises that have been broken by politicians on both sides of the aisle for decades here in the great state of Ohio.
All right. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it. Best of luck along the way. We'll check with you again.